Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharyaya Nachiketase cha. Humble prostrations to one and all. Now we begin the third Valli of the second chapter, the sixth Valli, the last Valli of Kaṭhopaniṣad. This Valli begins with the description of samsara vriksha, the samsara tree, the tree of transmigration. The very famous samsara vriksha, which we find in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. The 15th chapter of Gita begins with a description of that tree. So that concept actually comes from Kaṭhopaniṣad. So let us chant this verse. Urdhvamulo vakshakah Eshoshvathas sanatanaha Tadeva shukram tad brahma Tadevamritamuchyate Tasmin lokashrita sarve Tadunatyeti kaschana Etat vaitat. Yes, so this is the first verse in this Valli. So this Valli begins with a description of this samsara vriksha. So this verse says, this tree is a very unique tree. It is not like other trees that we find upon earth. This tree is unique. What way is this tree unique? Urdhvamulaha. This tree has the primary root on the top. The central root or the primary root, the main root. Normal trees have root below, but this tree has that root on top. Urdhvamulaha. Urdhva means above. Mula means root. And then avak shakha. Shakha, branch. They are avak, below. So normal trees have branches above, but this tree, the tree of samsara, has branches below. And what is the name of this tree? Eshah Ashvatthah. The name of this tree is Ashvatha. And this tree is unique in another way. What is that another feature which is unique? Sanatana. This tree is eternal. Unlike the normal tree, which gets destroyed after some time, this samsara vriksha has no destruction at all. It is sanatana, eternal. So this is another unique feature about this tree. So what are the features of this tree? The main root is above, branches are below, and this tree is eternal. Okay, but why are we discussing about this tree? There is a purpose. So the verse says, Tadeva Shukram. Tad eva, that alone. Which alone? So Bhagavan Śaṅkarācārya writes in his commentary, Tad Moolam eva Shukram. Shukra means pure. That central root or primary root alone is pure. Tadeva Shukram, meaning Tad Moolam eva Shukram. Tad Brahma, that central root is Brahman, the supreme truth, the ultimate reality. Tad eva amritam uchyate, that alone is immortal, imperishable. Tasmin lokaha shritaha sarve. Sarve lokaha tasmin shritaha. All the worlds take refuge in it. All the worlds rest upon it. All the worlds are supported by it. All the worlds exist only because of it. Tad u na atyeti kaschana. None transcends it. None disobey it. None dare to overrule it. Etat vaitat. This indeed is that. Nachiketa, you are asking a question about the ultimate reality. Yes, this is that reality. So, what is the essence of this verse? So, there is a unique tree named Ashwatha tree. This tree is unique because the root is on top, branches are below, and this tree is eternal. The root of this tree is none other than Brahman. This root of this tree is absolutely pure, absolutely immortal. All worlds exist in it. None dare to transcend this root of this tree. So this is the literal translation of this verse, which is a similar verse we find in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, that first verse. What is that verse? Urdhvamulamādhaśākham Ashwatham prahuravyayam Chandamsi yasya parnani Yastam veda savedavit. This is that first verse. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna has taken this verse of Bhagavad Gita from Kaṭhopaniṣad. So where is it taken? So we find this in the 2nd chapter, 3rd Valli. This verse we find. Yes. So we find that Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Upanishads. Right. So what is this Ashwatha tree? Now let us discuss. So this tree is the tree of samsara, the tree of transmigration. What is this samsara? Samsarati iti samsara. Constant change. our experience of constant change, this experience is called as samsara. Why is the name of this tree Ashwatha? Ashwatha. So this term Ashwatha has got three subterms. Ashwatha. Tha means that which remains. Shwa means tomorrow. Means not. So that which does not remain tomorrow is called Ashwatha. Meaning what? That which constantly changes. So this experience of constant change is called samsara. The samsara is compared with Ashwatha Vriksha. Now, what are the entities which change in our life? Body is continuously changing. Our thoughts are continuously changing. Our desires are constantly changing. Our relations are constantly changing. The world around me is constantly changing. The culture is constantly changing. The education system in schools and colleges constantly changing. So everything is changing constantly. This experience of constant change, moment to moment, day after day, year after year, life after life, this experience of constant change is called samsara. And this change is sanatana, eternal. Every aspect in life is changing. Now, the question is, are we happy with this experience of change? Do we like this change? So now when we observe this change that are happening all over, inside and outside, within and without, we find two important characteristics of this world of change. What are the two important characteristics? Number one, this change is an unpredictable change. Number two, it is a destructive change. The final end result of this change is complete destruction of that entity. Anything, any being, or any situation becomes completely non-existent after some period of time. So if you get attached to anything, being, or a situation, the end result is sorrow. So the first characteristics of this change is it is unpredictable, it is uncertain. We just don't know what is going to happen. So it is unpredictable. And secondly, it is a destructive change. Finally, that thing being or situation becomes completely non-existent. So what happens when a change is uncertain and unpredictable? When a change is uncertain and unpredictable, it leads to worries, anxieties, and stress. When a change is destructive, it leads to sorrow. So, therefore, this experience of change is not very happy experience. Nobody wants it. How to come out of this sorrow, born out of this change? There is only one way. We will have to hold on to that which is changeless. The entire samsara vriksha changes, but there is one thing in this tree which is changeless. The entire samsara vriksha changes, but there is only one thing which is changeless. That is the root of this tree, represented by Brahman, the Supreme Lord. So therefore, hold on to this root. This is the message of this verse. Hold on to that which is imperishable. This is the only way to come out of all sorrows. This root of this tree is nothing but the Supreme Self, or Brahman, or God. It is Amritam, immortal. It is Shukram, pure. And it is the very support of the whole world. So the message of this verse is hold on to that which is imperishable. It is the only thing which is real. And it is none other than your own self. So abidance in the self is the only way to come out of all sorrows and miseries of this world. This is the message of this verse. Now, we are going to analyze this verse in detail based on Bhagavan Śaṅkarācārya's detailed commentary upon this verse. Line by line we are going to go, because Bhagavan has written an exhaustive commentary describing every aspect of this tree. So now we are going to go according to that commentary. So Bhagavan Śaṅkarācārya says, Tūla mūla Tūla avadharane Moola avadharanam. By trying to understand the Tula, you get an understanding about the Moola. What is Tula? Tula means outer size of the tree. Moola means the root of the tree. By understanding the outer size, shape, etc., you get an idea about the inner root. By looking at what is seen, you can get an idea about what is unseen. By paying attention to the entity which is seen above, you get an idea about the entity which is unseen below. So now, with respect to this example, let us see. So by seeing the size of the outer tree, you can understand the size of the inner roots. By seeing the outer spread of the outer branches, you can understand the inner spread of the inner roots. By seeing the thickness of the outer branches, we can visualize the thickness of the inner roots. By seeing the height of the outer trunk, we can imagine the depth of the inner roots. Tūlavadhārane mūlavadhāranam. Tula also means cotton. So by seeing the cotton outside in a cotton tree, we can understand the root inside. That meaning is also valid. The outer tree is seen, the inner root is not seen. So too, the outer world is seen, but the creator of the outer world is not seen. By analyzing the seen, we are able to understand the unseen. So there is a relationship between cause and effect. The outer world is the effect. The creator of the outer world, God or Brahman, is the cause. The outer world is infinite. Therefore, the cause of this outer world, the creator of this world, must also be infinite. The outer world exhibits infinite knowledge. Therefore, the cause of this world, the creator of this world, must also possess infinite knowledge. The outer world exhibits infinite power. Therefore, the creator of this world must also be infinitely powerful. The outer world is experienced as existing. So the creator of the world must also be of the nature of existence and not non-existence. This is called as Moolavadharane Tūlavadharanam. By seeing the effect, you get an idea about the cause. By seeing the creation, you get an idea about the creator. By trying to understand the effect, you learn a lot about the cause. Now, we are entering into the description of the Samsara Vriksha by Bhagavan Śaṅkarācārya. So what does Bhagavan say? Samsara Vriksha Avyaktadi Sthavara Paryantah. Samsara Vriksha Avyaktadi Sthavara Paryantah. So this samsara tree is compared with this world. Samsara means everything in this world. Everything will come under samsara. Everything will come under the term called world. From the subtle to the gross. So what all will come under this? All the three bodies will come under samsara. What are the three bodies? Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Shariras. Gross body, subtle body, and causal bodies. They are included in samsara. Again, all the three states of the mind will come under samsara. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti avasthas. The waking state, the dream state, the deep sleep state. All will come under samsara. Again, different stages of evolution of this universe will also come under samsara. What are the different stages of evolution of this world? So many terms we find in the scriptures. The first stage is called avyakta, the unmanifest. This is the state of the universe when it is in pralayavastha, during dissolution. The whole world is an unmanifest state, in its karana state, in its causal state. It is from this state that the world starts evolving. It is from this state that srishti happens. So what is the next stage in srishti? So this avyakta state evolves to become mahattattva. This is the second state. The third stage in evolution is called ahankara. Avyakta, mahattattva, ahankara. And finally, the last stage of evolution is this sthula srishti, gross, tangible, perceivable outer universe. This is the final stage. So there are different stages of evolution for this universe. So Bhagavan Śaṅkarācārya says, samsara vrikshaha avyaktadi sthavara paryantaha. So when we say samsara, all worlds are included, from avyakta state to this gross, outer, perceivable, tangible universe. Everything is included. So everything is included, all the three states of mind, waking, dream, deep sleep, all the three bodies, sthula, sukshma, karana, and also all the different stages of evolution of this universe. All put together is what we call as samsara. The only thing which is not included in samsara is pure consciousness. Brahman or Supreme Self. This is the only thing which is not included in samsara. And this pure consciousness is compared with the central root of this tree. So what is the central root of samsara vriksha? So Bhagavan says, Moolam tad Vishnoho paramam padam. The supreme abode of Vishnu, that is the central root, the imperishable state. What is that upon which a tree exists? So we say it is the primary root or the main root. Please remember, we are not talking of the secondary root. In a tree, there are two types of roots, primary root and the secondary roots. The main root or the primary root is the central root just below the trunk, whereas secondary roots are the roots which spread far and wide. So if we cut the primary root, the tree becomes dead. But if we cut the secondary roots, nothing happens to the tree. So just like the tree exists on its primary root, so too this samsara vriksha also exists upon the primary root. And what is the primary root of the samsara vriksha? Tad Vishnoho paramam padam. That is the ultimate abode of Vishnu. This primary root is pure consciousness or the supreme self in us. Why is this supreme self compared with the primary root here? There are two reasons. Reason number one, just like the primary root is never seen in a normal tree, The primary root is never seen. In the same way, the pure consciousness is in us is never seen, because it never becomes an object of perception. It is ever the subject. Pure consciousness can never be seen. This is the first reason. Second reason, a tree has no existence without the primary root. In the same way, samsara has no existence without consciousness. The whole world exists upon consciousness. Without consciousness, nothing has any existence. Now a question may come, why is urdhvamulam? Why is this root depicted on top? So the answer is, anything which is superior must be above, anything which is inferior must be below. That which is the cause must always be higher. That which is the effect is always lower. Root is the cause, tree is the effect. Because root nourishes the tree, hence root is superior to tree. Hence root is depicted above the tree. In the family tree also we find this. The great grandfather is above. Then below the great grandfather comes grandfather. Then below the grandfather comes father. Below father comes son. Below son comes grandson. Below the grandson comes great grandson. So in a family tree also we see this. Cause comes above, effect comes below. In the BMI chart of Puja Gurudev also we see this. Om comes on top, then comes V, then comes all the expressions of V, the vasanas. What are the expressions? BMI, body, mind, intellect. PFT, perceiver, feeler, thinker. OET, object, emotions, thoughts. They are all coming at a lower level. Om represents pure consciousness. Since Om gives existence to everything, it comes on top. Now, why is this tree called Vriksha in Sanskrit? So Bhagavan Śaṅkarācārya says, Vrikshascha Vrishchanat. Why is this tree called Vriksha? Bhagavan says, Vrikshana Vrishchanat Vriksha. That which can be cut down is called Vriksha. So just like a tree can be cut down, in the same way, this samsara tree also can be cut down. It can also be destroyed. In a relative sense, when we compare this tree with crops, a tree never dies. As far as crops are concerned, they give flowers, then fruits, and then they die. But as far as a tree is concerned, it doesn't die that way. So in a limited sense, a tree is imperishable. The crops come and die, but the trees, yes, the leaves may fall in one season, but soon the leaves come again. Fruits come again. Unlike the crops. So in that sense, a tree does not die. It stays. In the same way, samsara tree also never dies. This can be another reason why Sanatana term is used. Hence, like the tree, samsara has to be cut. Only then it dies. Asanga shastrena dridhena chitva. Why should we destroy this samsara tree? Bhagavan Śaṅkarācārya says, Janma jara marana shoka adi aneka anarthatmakaha. What is the nature of this samsara vriksha? Atmakaha. Atmaka means of the nature of. It is of the nature of. What is the nature of the samsara vriksha? Anartha atmakaha. It is of the nature of anartha. What is anartha? Artha means that what we want. So anartha means that which we don't want, which we don't like. So this tree is anarthatmaka. This tree is of the nature of that which we don't want. What are the things we don't want? Number one, janma, birth. No one desires birth because birth involves pain. Every child comes out of mother's womb crying. Hence, janma is anartha. Next one, jara, old age. This is another anartha. No one wants to be old. Old age means weak senses. Old age means being devoid of abilities and talents. Old age means dependence on others for every little thing. Old age means seeing the death of friends, of colleagues, of relatives. Old age means various kinds of diseases. Old age means hospitals, doctors, medical bills, worries, anxieties. Old age means neglect from relatives, neglect from the society. Old age means I am no more needed by anyone. So jara, old age, is another anartha of this samsara vriksha. Next one, marana, death. No one wants to die. Death means becoming non-existent. No one wants to become non-existent. This is also anartha. Then shoka adi. Shoka means grief. There are varieties of sorrows in life. Physical, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, financial, relational, social, political. Even there are sports related sorrows also nowadays. When India lost to Australia in the World Cup cricket final, many were drowned in sorrow. Shoka. So they are all called anartha, that which we don't desire. Anarthatmakaha samsara. So this samsara is full of anarthas. What is another characteristics of this samsara vriksha? So Bhagavan says, pratikshana anyatha swabhavaha. Pratikshana, every moment, anyatha swabhavaha. It is constantly changing. Change is the changeless law of this samsara. As far as a tree is concerned, we find the sprout becomes a plant, and moment to moment it grows, and finally it becomes a tree. Even as a tree, there is constant change happening in the leaves, in the twigs, in the branches, in the fruits, in the roots. In the same way, samsara tree also. Constant change. The body is changing. Moods of the mind are changing. Ideas in the intellect are changing. Our future plans change. Our goals change. Our understanding about the world keeps changing. Our understanding about ourselves keeps changing. Our relationship with others change. The closest friends become greatest enemies. Absolute strangers become closest friends. The world around us change. The world inside us change. The things, beings, and situations around us change. This is called as pratikshana anyatha swabhava. Change is the nature of the samsara vriksha. From the standpoint of its existence, what is the nature of the samsara vriksha? So Bhagavan says, Maya Marichi Udaka Gandharva Nagaradivat Drishtanashta Surupatvat Avasanecha Vrikshavat Abhavatmakaha. So what is the nature of this world? Drishtanashta Surupaha Avasane Abhavatmakaha. Simple Sanskrit. Drishtanashta Surupaha. It is drishta and very soon it becomes nashta. In the beginning it appears and very soon it disappears. This is the nature of the samsara. Avasane abhavatmaka. In the end, avasane, in the end, abhavatmaka. It becomes absolutely non-existent. Two examples are given here. Maya marichi udakavat. Like the mirage waters seen in the desert. You see the water, but when you approach closer, it just disappears. It is of the nature of absolute non-existence. It is seen, it appears, but when you go closer, analyze, you find it is not there. Gandharva Nagaradivat. This is the second example given. Like the castles in the sky. The clouds illumined by bright sun from behind. The clouds form brilliant combinations in the sky. And we see a beautiful city of clouds in the sky. But very soon, with the wind, the entire city disappears. There is only an illusory appearance. There is no solid existence. In the same way, this samsara vriksha also. When I was born, I was surrounded by parents and grandparents and great-grandparents. As I grow, these faces slowly disappear and a new set of faces emerge, and finally when I die, I am surrounded by children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren. This is called as drishtanashta surupa and avasane abhavatmaka. In the end, everything becomes non-existent. So that is why we say this world is Maya. What is Maya? That which appears to exist but has no existence is called Maya. The world has only an appearance of existence. It actually does not exist. Exactly like our dream world. So what happens when we chase the things, beings and situations in Maya? The end result is sorrow. Because we are chasing non-existent entities. Attachment to any non-existent entity can only give us sorrow. There was a time I was strongly attached to someone. That person was my life. That person was my everything. But a time comes when I no more care about that person. There was a time I considered certain issues very, very important in my life. But today, those issues have become absolutely unimportant. Everything comes, remains for some time, and disappears and becomes non existent. This is life. Drishtanashta Surupaha Avasane Abhava. This is the nature of samsara tree. So, what is the status of all these things, beings, and situations in life? Bhagavan Śaṅkarācārya says, Kadali stambhavat nissaraha. Sara means essence. Nissara means essenceless. This world is essenceless. Like what? An example is given. Kadali stambhavat, like the stem of a plantain tree, like the stem of a banana tree. The stem of the banana tree appears so attractive, smooth, brilliantly white, shining, juicy. But as we keep opening the inner layers one after the other, finally you find nothing inside. All the efforts are wasted. With great expectation, you keep on opening the inner layers, and finally, what do you get? You get nothing. This is world. This is life. In life also we live in hopes. A time will come in future. I will get this, and then my life will be transformed. Then my life will be full of joy. So we are all living in empty hopes and expectations. Someday I am going to be happy. Someday I will get eternal fulfillment. Today I may not be happy, but a day will come when I will be completely happy and fulfilled. And every time the desire is fulfilled, the mind is not happy with that attainment. It keeps another fresh goal in front of it. Again, we keep chasing that goal. And with attainment of that goal, we keep chasing and aiming at bigger and bigger goals. And one day, with full of unfulfilled desires, we die. In the end, there is only a sense of hollowness in life, a sense of emptiness in life, a feeling that is not what I was searching for in life. This is called Kadali stambhavat nissaraha. Everything in this world is essenceless, meaningless, something which cannot truly fulfill us. This is the nature of samsara tree. Now Bhagavan takes up another topic. How do different people look at this world? So people are divided in two categories. First, those who do not consider Vedas as the valid means of knowledge. They depend only on their independent scientific thinking. Second category, those who consider Vedas as valid means of knowledge. They have total faith that whatever is written in the Vedas is true. So we have two categories of people. Those who have the backing of Guru Parampara, those whose knowledge is based on the Vedas. This is category number 1. And category number 2, those who don't believe in Vedas. Those who consider whatever is seen as real. So what is their opinion about this world? So first comes people who don't believe in Vedas, whose understanding is not based on the knowledge of Guru Parampara. How do they see this world? So Bhagavan Śaṅkarācārya says, Aneka shata pakhanda buddhi vikalpa aspadaha. This world is a refuge for many wrong notions, erroneous notions for the non-believers. Bhagavan Shankaracharya is very clear. All the wrong notions are only for pakhandis, the non-believers in the Vedas, for the atheists. As far as believers are concerned, there is absolutely no problem at all. They are well guided by the Shastra and Guru. But for non-believers, the world becomes a source of all confusions and wrong notions. And these wrong notions can be innumerable, says Bhagavan Shankaracharya. Aneka shata buddhi vikalpa. When we don't know the truth, and when we don't trust the validity of the scriptures, then we can have innumerable theories of origin of this universe. The theories on the existence of this universe, the cause of this universe, the size of this universe, the support of this universe, the entities in the universe, time, space, etc., etc. There can be infinite theories, and each theory contradicting other theories. And this is what is happening in the world today. Just like a tree. In the night time, in darkness, how many ways can we misinterpret a tree? There are very many ways. When there is no light, when there is only darkness, a tree can be misunderstood in so many ways. A tree can be misunderstood as a ghost, or a post, or a human being, etc., etc. In the same way, there are so many concepts regarding the origin of this world, its existence, its creator, etc. For example, the Charvakas, they say what we see, what we perceive through our senses, that alone is true. So for Charvakas, there is nothing called God. There is only Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. In the same way, there are so many theories, so many philosophies. There is something called Parinamavada, there is something called Arambhavada, Astivada, Nastivada. In this way, there are so many philosophies floating around all over the world regarding origin of this universe. So all those who don't have faith in the Vedas, they are all confused. Bhagavan says, even those who may have sincere desire to know the truth, but don't have faith in the Vedas, don't have a guru, even they are confused. There may be a sincerity in wanting to know the truth, but if you don't base your understanding upon the Vedas, you will be confused. So Bhagavan says, Tattva jitnyasubhihi anirdharita idam tattvaha. Even the seekers of truth, who don't have a clear guidance from the scriptures and the Guru, even they are confused. Like Darwin, etc. They are not able to conclude firmly. Anirdharita tattva. So there is confusion everywhere. But what about a jnani who has the backing of Guru Parampara, who has right understanding based on the scriptures, based on the teachings of the Guru? He clearly sees everything. He has absolutely no doubt regarding anything. His understanding is what we are going to discuss now. So now the description of the samsara tree, every aspect of it begins. So that we will take in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।